How to escape Alcatraz with basic engineering.
This is Alcatraz, the world's most famously secure prison. And today, I'm gonna try and escape. This does not feel good, but I'll be doing it in a very specific way by recreating the exact same actions these three daring prisoners took. This is a tight squeeze. When they executed their year-long plan in what many consider to be the most ingenious
Hey, that's what they did in Prison Break, dude. What the f?
They executed their year-long
same playbook
plan in what many consider to be the most ingenious escape in recorded history. So to pull this off, they gave me unrestricted access to the whole prison because our goal is to use modern technology along with our own engineering skills to determine once and for all whether these three escapees actually made it safely to land. Guys, we are no longer in a raft. Or if they vanished forever in the frigid, shark-riddled waters of the San Francisco Bay.
No.
I cannot believe they would spend 23 hours a day in this tiny little cell. On June 11th, 1960.
Okay, am I tripping? Or are these conditions significantly better than the ones in Clayton County we saw from Tommy G video yesterday?
At 9:30 p.m., this exact jail cell would have seemed pretty unremarkable to any of the guards on duty and to all but 3 of the prisoners held here on the island.
This must be one of the most
notorious those 3 prisoners decided they were finally going to attempt their escape after nearly a year of meticulous planning and preparations. But in order to pull this off, starting right here in their cells, they would need to execute their elaborate 6-part escape plan flawlessly, eventually taking them up and out of the prison, down to the water, and across the bay to their freedom. And to pull this off would require countless strokes of genius, like fake vents to cover up their digging progress, fake bolts made from sculpted soap, or a homemade raft fashioned from prison-issued raincoats. But all 6 of those critical steps started right back here with the decoy, moments after lights out at 9:35 p.m. Since they weren't expected out of bed until roll call the next morning, they needed a way to not sound the alarms with empty beds when guards came by to perform head counts several times during the night. So they placed fake heads like these on their pillows that they had spent 2 months crafting out of soap, concrete dust, toothpaste, toilet paper, and actual human hair.
Bro. This is kind of creepy, and it shows how good the heads are, because I feel like I'm in a jail cell with a sleeping man just out of the corner of my eye. The only thing that's missing is the snoring.
Now at this point, it's worth mentioning these weren't your average prisoners. Frank Morris had an IQ of 130, and he was the mastermind who planned everything. Then brothers John and Clarence Anglin, while not as smart as Frank, were resourceful and good with tools. All 3 had previously escaped from other prisons, so they were sent to Alcatraz because no one had successfully escaped in its 28-year history. So in order to assess and truly appreciate every aspect of their bootleg
They put 3 niggas that all escaped jail before.
All the steps they took in their escape. So
right beside each other?
Prison Break team of my own with Johnny Harris and Cleo Abram. Cleo would be the mastermind, and Johnny and I would be the slightly dumber pair of brothers.
Johnny. Really good.
So we gathered up all the exact same materials they had at their disposal.
Never made a fake head before, but I think we can do it.
And began the first test.
I'm gonna start mixing.
Mixing what? When it comes to arts and crafts,
It's a good idea.
it's fair to say, I just need your face. This team lacked experience.
This is Mark Rober with his hat.
Despite all that,
Brother.
I think they turned out pretty good.
These are amazing.
As it turned out, all you really needed to do was bring in your most artistic friend, Brooke.
Who do you want to start with?
I will start with, oh God.
Brooke, save us.
And having Brooke to help us actually put us on par with the original escapees, because they had their own resident artist in one of the brothers, Clarence Anglin, who also worked maintenance and painted as a hobby, so he provided the paint. His brother John, on the other hand, worked in the barbershop, so he provided the actual human hair they used.
Hello.
Is that how you see me?
Here's Mark. Dude. Fucking ew, bro.
Oh my God.
That
So
shit
with our
looks
picture-perfect
scary.
facsimiles finished, we put our heads to the test with prison guard Bam,
Boy Wonder, thank you for resub.
who had
Welcome
been
back.
told all 3 of us remained asleep in our beds. And our outcome was significantly different than theirs.
I told you, Johnny.
It almost worked.
Why are
you put
eyes so
fucking
wide
googly eyes
open
in.
like this?
Providing early evidence, these weren't your average prisoners.
All right, next test.
Now that their diversion was set, at 9:37 p.m., they grabbed some tools and crawled through a hole in their jail cell wall they had spent the previous 6 months secretly digging out.
So this is the actual hole they crawled through to escape. As you can see, it is not very large. Wow, this is a very tight squeeze.
Bro.
Ow! To give themselves a head start on digging,
Who
they
was human
decided
is
to
fitting through
enlarge an
that? What
already
male is
existing
fitting through
air
that,
vent
bro?
hole underneath each of their sinks. Since they obviously didn't have access to power tools, they had to get creative, primarily using stolen spoons from the cafeteria that they'd fashioned into picks by removing the round part. So to gain a better appreciation for what this would actually take, it was time for my jailbreak crew to get to work on a replica prison cell we built in Crunch Labs using concrete that was similar to what they would have faced.
My fingers are starting to get tired, and it's literally
Wow,
30
you're
seconds.
so soft.
It quickly became clear why it would have taken them months.
Prison breaking is hard.
To painstakingly scrape their way to a hole big enough to escape from.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Which begs the question, how do you cover up your digging progress so the guards don't discover it during their routine room inspection? So to answer that question, I headed to the prison archives to meet a good friend of mine, Adam Savage.
There's a fucking prison
doing,
archives
Because he has
building.
a lot of myth-busting knowledge on this topic.
We didn't know that there were still pieces of the original thing until we called over here, and they're like, yeah, come on down, we can show them to you.
One of the first things he showed me was this. Basically, they created an incredibly realistic vent cover made from just cardboard, notebook covers, and soap, which they then painted prison green
React to
using
streamer
spray
now?
paint
That's in
they
30
stole
minutes,
from a
we'll do
maintenance
that.
shed.
From a maker standpoint, this is a masterpiece. To
Yeah.
make this out of like homegrown materials you're scabbing from the prison shop and to have looked this good like a concrete wall is incredible.
Back in prison, we were making some progress, but it wasn't exactly quiet work. Our three escapees faced this same issue and came up with a clever solution. Every night from 5:30 to 7 was
Yeah,
used
because prisons are money-making investments. JC, thank you for the resub.
to hour for all the inmates. So one of them would loudly play an accordion while one kept watch for guards with a makeshift periscope, and the third one scraped away. And this noise management system turned out to be pretty effective.
Oh my God, that's so loud.
Oh, they drowned out the noise on some Assassin's Creed shit.
Sorry.
Our efforts were proving that digging through concrete with a headless spoon was very slow work. And this must have been something Frank Morris, the mastermind, concluded as well, because he ended up
Look how
getting
much
his hands
progress
on
they
an old
made.
vacuum used for maintenance, exactly like the model shown here. And then if you pop off the top shell and then remove the fan assembly, you will find
We have a modified power drill.
And that ought to speed things up a little bit.
all the inmates had power outlets in their cells that allowed them to use things like electric shavers, or in this case,
Ew.
bootleg engineered power drills. So with the accordion once again masking the sound,
Okay, no, okay, no. The guards are brain dead, bro. You can't tell when something is being fucking drilled or sawed, my nigga. Come on, it's like a screeching loud noise. You can hear, and it's a jail, bro, so it's gonna fucking echo. Everybody could hear it, and it vibrates too. Come on, gang. That can't be maximum security.
an improved method of drilling a series of holes and then using the spoons to remove the remaining excess material between the holes. And as much as this did increase our output as well, it was clear this
Hey, brother.
would still take weeks, and I wanted to get to the crawl-through test. So I raised the white flag and resorted to an air hammer, which they definitely didn't have at their disposal, until the hole was the exact same size as the holes in their cells.
Look at how much like concrete they would have had to remove from the premises, right?
They put it all in their pocket.
Put it out in the yard. Yeah, but this is the actual
I mean, it hella,
size
like,
of the hole they escaped from.
Smell the freedom.
So it
Use
turns
supplements,
out
vitamins.
they were like 135 pounds.
These are tiny dudes.
They're tiny dudes. My head
And this plan obviously is genius, bro.
Pat goes first.
But the guards
Now
are
I
fucking
have to
brain.
make
No
it.
way they
Oh,
fit.
crap.
You're lying.
Oh, there's no way.
Let's push them.
Oh, no, there's no way
That's
this
my
guy's
biggest
gotten
fucking fear, by
through.
the way.
All that work.
Johnny mixed things up with a feet-first approach,
Too much ass, Johnny.
which meant it all came down to Cleo.
I can totally do this.
Oh my god.
She's doing it. She's. Oh my God.
Women, am I right? Women.
Cleo!
Bro, she's already gone. Wow. Okay.
Well,
You want a game of tic-tac-toe?
Well, imagine she just ran off
back
on
to our
everybody.
prisoners. With step 2 out of the way, at 9:48 p.m., they found themselves in sort of a secret passage.
What'd you say about women? Women are mad resourceful. Obviously.
Passageway between the cells. The problem was, they'd have to silently make their way to step 3 that was 4 stories above them.
Here's the holes. They would crawl out right here into this utility corridor, which honestly is pretty spacious.
But more importantly, they had to make it to the loft.
If
And
they
there's
had
all
lube,
these
they probably
pipes
could have
that
fit the men,
basically
too.
act as ladders.
Sometimes
that
you gotta
lead
lube
them
that
all
shit
the
up.
way up to
Right here. This is wild.
This was the roof of the cell block, but when they got here that night, there was already a homemade life raft and life vests, homemade paddles,
God,
and
they had a whole
makeshift
bunch of
flashlights
supplies.
waiting for them. And
Like
that's
base camp
because
at
this
Everest.
wasn't their first time up here. They had been sneaking up here for months, using the same decoy heads and fake vent covers, bringing up their hidden homemade tools every night as they fabricated their means for escape. And they knew about this spot because one of them was actually assigned to work up here for a couple hours during the day, painting the ceiling and doing general maintenance under the watchful eyes of the guards patrolling right across the hall. So they devised a plan, and every day he would sweep dust down onto the polished floors below, and when the guards and other prisoners eventually complained about the mess, he proposed a simple solution, hanging up blankets in these locations to stop the dust from falling down, creating themselves a private little workshop in the process.
God.
So of course, once they hung out the blankets, that means
He's
they could
a
work up here
fucking genius.
undetected for months, coming up every night, doing some work, crawling down in the morning. Frank Morris, the mastermind, just an absolute genius.
And of course it makes sense then why during the day they'd work as slowly as possible, taking months to not even finish painting the whole ceiling.
Oh, this is cool. So you could literally see how far he made it over just to buy themselves more time.
Frank worked in the library,
That's a little
which gave him
suspicious
access
though,
to
man. It's
reading
not hard to
materials
paint.
like Popular Mechanics, where he learned some of the skills they used for designing their paddles and constructing the raft and life preservers made from over 50 Army-issued raincoats they had borrowed or stole from other inmates. And bear in mind, these weren't exactly ideal working conditions.
Any noise they make up here just echoes throughout the entire prison.
On top of that,
This is where the guards would patrol back and forth with Thompson submachine guns, keeping an eye on all the prisoners. So it's wild that just 15 feet away, these guys were literally fabricating their means for escape.
and now that they had completed step 3 and were ready to head to the roof with all their provisions, it was our turn to do the same by building the actual rafts we would use to make our own escape.
So now we're up to the loft, we're out of our cells, but the next big step is how do you make it through these frigid, shark-infested waters?
What's cool is they had these Popular Mechanics magazines.
Inside
Is she a
was how to
journalist?
make a homemade life preserver.
No way.
Literally, your life preserver, how will it behave if you need
I feel like
it?
I've seen
This
it
is the
before.
one I feel like is the most nonsensical. It's such a refined construction of a life vest. I feel like this is them showing off.
This is absolutely them showing off. It's like get a piece of foam and like a milk jug. You know, it's doing the same thing. Is this a raft?
Kind of.
Our theory was that they made 4 tubes and then realized we don't need the second short one because we can just make it a long triangle.
These tubes are something like 14 feet?
Yeah.
That's a yacht. Now, those instructions were applicable for the typical material you find in a rain jacket. So
This
these
the
guys
same motherfucker who didn't kiss that one Blazer bitch twice? What the fuck does that have to do with anything, bro?
collected like 56 of them. They made life preservers in a raft, which we are about to do.
These are some smart dudes.
MacGyver on steroids. Here we go.
We found a roll of rubberized canvas that matched the material of the prison issue rain jackets and then cut them into rain jacket size strips.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's satisfying.
Satisfying flow. Wow. Oh, that was
That
so
is mad
satisfying.
And then we used period accurate rubber cement to glue the segments together with 2.5-inch seams.
Our life depends on these seams. If one of these even has a little leak,
Oh.
My applicator already broke. Are there more applicators?
And then fully sealed the deal with some hammer time. And if this
That
seems
makes an
insanely
awful lot of
loud,
noise,
don't
though.
worry.
I'm gonna
Enough noise
cover
to
it
get
up.
caught.
We brought the Accord.
Guards will have no idea what we're doing!
And with that, we rolled it onto itself,
Get
then
swamped,
sealed the
Ignorant
ends,
sub, nigga.
which led to the final test. Seeing if we could inflate it using the same secret weapon the escapees had.
Catch you later, bucko.
oh yes!
They took an accordion and actually used it as an air pump.
Nah,
Yeah.
you're just
There you
being
go.
gay.
Pretty strong. See? Okay.
The fate of our survival rests on this moment. This is an actual raft we will be using to cross the
Goodbye, brother.
shark-infested Alcatraz waters. Here we go.
Oh my god, it's working. It's working. Keep going.
And over the course of about 37 squeaky pumps, we had a fully inflated raft.
The accordion
Bro,
is the
that
unsung
is
hero.
fucking
Or I
genius.
guess it's
Little bit sung.
They just use
Yeah.
a fucking
But the all
accordion to
important
pump
question
air.
was,
I mean, they could have
friendly.
used their
Is
lungs
it
too,
fully
but
airtight?
Nothing.
Cleo's overjoyed response made it clear that if we just repeated
This
that
part is
exact
easy.
same thing
I've made a
2 more
boat before,
times,
too.
we'd have a fully functioning raft. Next for the inmates was making it onto the roof. But before they do that, it's worth looking at their tools and appreciating that while they didn't have college degrees, they certainly thought like engineers because they were resilient problem solvers. And to me, this is what it means to think like an engineer.
And this is such an important skill to develop for life. It's written right on the side of every Crunch Slabs build box that gets to be
The roof painted a hole through this vent.
This right here is the vent they did it through.
And they had previously sawed through the bolt that held the vent shut and then replaced it with a fake bolt made of soap they had painted to look real. They'd also previously bent away a restriction bar intended to keep a human from fitting through the ventilation pipe using an ingenious homemade bar spreader consisting of 2 opposite threaded bolts with a threaded turnbuckle in the middle. So when they tightened the turnbuckle with their homemade wrench, the 2 bolt heads would slowly deform the restriction bar until there was room enough to slip through.
So they busted through, pushed up the metal vent, pushed out their rafts, and crawled to the roof and to potential freedom.
We know the exact time they got on the roof because a guard and several inmates reported hearing a loud bang.
If you had to push this thing over, it landed on the roof, that's gonna make a lot of noise. That's loud. You could just imagine.
Wow,
They've
city
made it
looks
up
beautiful
on the
in the
roof.
background.
They've got their rafts. They're running to the edge. They've got the city of San Francisco behind them. Golden Gate Bridge to their left. And they know they are mere hours away from drowning in these frigid waters.
Cold ass
Total
water.
freedom. It's one or the other. So they came here to the edge of the roof.
Then climbed down the water pipe, made their way along the exercise yard, down by the water tower, and around the power station. Now what's truly remarkable about that route is they'd have to scale 2 separate 12-foot barbed wire fences with all their gear in tow while going undetected by the armed guards on the search towers who were ordered to shoot on sight any prisoner attempting to escape.
The final part of the escape,
Crazy.
conveniently, where you can't be seen by the guard tower, they made their way down this embankment and entered the water right here.
Now this beach wasn't the easiest spot for them to access, but Mastermind Frank chose it specifically because it was in a blind spot for all the guard tower searchlights. So now that they were down by the water's edge, they inflated the rafts using the modified accordion they turned into an air pump and set off to Angel Island.
like
So to get a
Splinter
sense of
Cell.
whether this would even be remotely possible in a homemade raft, we launched our own homemade raft
Sniper
at
Elite.
each location that was very
Or
similar
Metal
to
Gear
theirs.
Solid.
Go, 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 go. Careful, careful. I don't want you to break it. This is it, guys. This has to work.
Okay, time to start making the music. Get in there.
I'll hold you, Pump.
Johnny, why don't you start filling one of the others with your mouth?
Okay.
Can you imagine being here on the beach? Like the guards might come at any moment.
Blow harder, Johnny.
Johnny!
This is not easy.
Tastes like glue.
Oh no! I didn't prepare for this. Let's get these on. Watch your eye. Oh shoot! I just broke. Oh shit! It still works.
If it broke, though, it's not
Get the core
going to
work out
maintain
here.
air,
Guys, I'm
right?
almost full. This one's full.
No way this lasts. This is the first thing I'm dishing.
All right, we gotta get in the water. Let's get in the water. Oh, go, 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 go. Get in there. Oh,
Who's the
Cleo,
Yetter
move.
dead?
Get in, Cleo. Careful on those seams.
Exploding!
Go. We're free! We're free!
Now you'll notice it's not exactly dark. even
Legit,
though we
David
know
Ruiz,
they
best
launched
seat, David
after
26,
lights
Ruiz,
out
welcome
in
back
the
to
evening.
HG.
That's because we ran some tests of our own by strapping 20 GPS devices in waterproof containers to some driftwood, and then we threw them in the water near their launch spot at various times in the tide cycle, and then we tracked where they ended up. And this experiment yielded some very unexpected results.
Whoa, we're looking at some movement here.
Wait, this is not what I was expecting to see.
We're trying to go over here? Not now.
Because of the strong current the driftwood logs got caught up in, none of them even came close to making it to their intended destination, Angel Island, either as the current came in on high tide or went out on low tide. In fact, of all the logs we threw in, only a few ever made it to land during an ideal 30-minute tidal window at a location right about here next to the Golden Gate Bridge. And this is something Frank probably knew as well by observing debris in the water moving with the tides, meaning all their rumored plans for heading to Angel Island were just diversions, and their real plan was to land here all along. So to maximize our
Diversions.
chance of a successful escape,
mean,
we
who they
entered
trying to
water
divert?
at the same perfect
Ginger
30-minute
David
tidal
Russo.
window based on the tides for our day.
Start paddling to freedom, folks. The tide is just pulling us. Let's go. We're moving so fast, man. Guys, this is epic. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go. Down to the Golden Gate Bridge. Look around. This is beautiful. We're free. Oh my God. Wow, this is amazing.
Johnny!
Battle. Sorry.
We were
You mean to
feeling
tell me the
optimistic,
guards
but
can't
once
see
we
them?
got about a quarter of the
There's
way
nothing
to
in
the
the water.
bridge, the waves drastically increased in size.
Big waves. All these waves are huge. Oh my way. Oh.
I was getting queasy fast, so I ditched the paddle and adopted a new strategy.
Okay, at this point, you live and die by the current. Paddling is just totally futile.
We
It's
dropped
just
the
about
sharky
surviving
mode.
and like
Hey,
floating
they're
our
not
way
gonna
in the
get killed by
current.
a
A
shark.
large portion of my body is underwater right now.
I'm just like,
Yo, I don't know why this sharky mode's so good. This sharky mode's so good, bro. Oh my god, I can't explain why. He's just making a funny face.
engulfed in this thing. I cannot move. We're basically sitting.
It was
in just a
nighttime when they
massive
escaped.
life
I know,
persona.
but don't they got a
The
light
world's
that
most
shoots
dangerous
out into the
water
water
We're
game? Like, that's the whole point of the
sharks
guard towers,
swimming
right?
around
They
And this
should
was
be
a
able to see.
legitimate concern. Here's an actual clip right off the shore of Alcatraz of a great white shark hunting a seal. In fact, when I was scouting out the location the inmates launched their raft, I saw another seal right off the shore.
New
You know
rat,
these
thank you for the sub.
seals? Sharks. To make matters worse, I knew in this area great whites hunted primarily at dawn and dusk.
It gives you some real appreciation for what
Mark!
and how they did this.
How do you think they were feeling if they got this far?
Victorious.
This is a win already,
Yeah.
but not home free yet.
Big waves! Oh my goodness!
These are 6-footers.
He's a white cap.
Literal white. Oh my god! Oh, we're almost cap time! It is tumultuous on the open sea.
And despite the rough waters, our great escape was going pretty well, right up until the raft started deflating.
We're
Say
definitely
goodbye. Y'all
losing
took too
air.
long.
This is not good.
Y'all took too long. You was waffling.
Air comes rushing out.
Igris,
I'm
thank you
holding
for
on
2-1.
tight right here, making sure it doesn't leak.
And I'm holding this one on this side.
And since our trusty accordion pump was back on shore, we had to get
Is
creative.
that a solo
Get some air
leopard
back in
reference?
there, please, folks. Our survival depends on it.
And to make matters worse,
Water everywhere in here. This is more than bathtub, dude. We are up to our waists in water. The waves are just so high.
I just know it's
The water's
cold as
freezing
fuck,
cold. But Alcatraz is fading into the distance, and the Golden Gate Bridge is coming closer.
and this was good news because even if Johnny made it, it was looking more and more likely his dinner wouldn't.
I'm nauseous.
You better be happy.
Ew, 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 ew,
Oh God, I might vomit. Sorry. Okay.
ew, 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 ew.
I'm proud. To the end. I will not be defeated. I will not be defeated. Oh, I'm so nauseous. This is for freedom.
For freedom!
Go, Cleo.
For liberty! We're thinking so much faster with our power.
Yo, the
Well, you
fact
know
that they
what?
was able to run a whole bunch of tests on the tide, that they had this whole thing planned with the, they was able to like, nigga, they have all this information and they still couldn't make it to land, but those niggas with absolutely no clue what the outside looks like for real, aside from some fucking schematics, was able to do it successfully in one go is insane, bro. That's like if I got on Minecraft for the first time and then beat it on hardcore mode, my first experiment.
You've got heart. And if you've got heart, you got freedom.
That's not actually true.
We are really putting on a lot of water.
That is actually true.
We can do this, guys. We can do this. Guys, the bridge is right there. The bridge is right there. I see the bridge. Alcatraz is fading with every minute. Guys,
Yeah,
we are
they're
no
drowned.
longer in a raft.
They're in the water.
Ocean.
We are going down that, Johnny?
I'm up to my sternum now. I'm like mostly underwater.
Johnny looked like he had a plan to fix our sinking situation, but it turns out he was thinking more about content than survival. Which makes this a good time to mention, no matter what happens here, you should know they both have incredible YouTube
I knew she was a
channels.
fucking
Like Cleo
journalist.
just
I've seen her
uploaded a
before.
video about what we could actually do if a giant asteroid were headed towards Earth.
An asteroid impact is worse than you might think.
And
Bro, don't get me in my asteroid bag. I don't want to go there again.
Johnny just uploaded a video
don't get
about
me in
the
my asteroid
infamous
bag. I
El
would hate to
Chapo
have to go
prison
there
escape
again.
in Mexico.
This place was considered inescapable, but even still, he had escaped through one of his tunnels.
So close. The current's shaking us. It still has there. Hold on to that. Hold on. I am.
The current had done about 90% of the work for us, and now it was up to us to make the final push to freedom.
Big push. Go, big push.
They're still going, bro? Nigga, the video is over.
Which would have been much easier without my prison
Oh, do
issues.
y'all just love swimming?
Oh my god. Come on. We're there. We're free. Oh my god. Land.
Oh my God! We did it!
Yes. We're free from Alcatraz! Oh,
We actually did it.
we're free. Oh my god, I'm so tired right now. That's one of the hardest things I've ever done my whole life. Yeah.
So after all that, the question that remains is, did they survive that final step? Now what we know for sure is the FBI recovered evidence of their escape, like paddles or life jackets, in these 4 locations. But what we also know is on any given night, there's only life jackets in these 4 locations.
How the fuck 1, 2, 3 makes sense? But how in the fuck would evidence be all the way over here?
But what we also know is on any given night, there's only a 30-minute window where the high tide current will take you from Alcatraz safely to land. And any attempt outside that time frame basically means certain death from hypothermia or drowning. And thanks to a lot of modern science, we of course knew exactly when that 30-minute window was for our escape. And so after checking the historic tide records on the exact night of their escape, for them, that vital window would be between 11:30 and midnight. And according to the FBI records, ingenious Frank Morris, with access to none of the data we had, pushed off right in that sweet spot at 11:40 p.m.
Bro, he's a fucking genius.
And even with all that, realistically, I still put their odds at less than a 50% chance of surviving the final step. But if anyone was gonna beat those odds, it would be the serial escape artist, genius IQ, bona fide bootleg prison engineer, Frank Morris.
Wow. And he had no college degree. I be trying to tell y'all niggas, like, that college shit is like largely pointless, bro.
Here, if you want to strengthen
like, for
that
real. If you go to jail, that college shit is not gonna break you
tons
out,
of
bro.
fun along the way. Go to crunchslabs.com, use the
Drop out now while you still have the time and you don't have the debt. That's a good video though, Mark Rober. That's a good vid.